Hey, I'm Heather Johnson with the Ayurveda Life School, and I wanted to answer one very important question for you. What is Ayurveda? Ayurveda is the science of life or the knowledge of life. It comes from ancient India, over 5,000 years old, and it teaches us about our bodies, about nature, about how the world works, and how to live with the absolute highest level of health. Now, Ayurveda deals with the individual. We look at each person and we realize that what's good for one is not going to be good for all. And so when we work on treatments, we're helping people to be healthy from the base level of physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, social. We look at the whole being. The way we do this is by looking at the qualities in the world around us. Now, the qualities that we see come in matching pairs. They're things like cold and hot, dry and moist, heavy and light. When we look at these qualities, we can see how they match up with food, with nature, even with our own personalities. Some person could be light and fun, where another person is very heavy and serious. So as we look at these different qualities, they translate into elements. The elements in Ayurveda are ether, like space or connection, the space that everything else is in, air, fire, water, and earth. These 5 elements make up everything in nature. They make up the food we eat, our bodies, the plants that we see around us, the animals, even the seasons have their own doshic qualities. So when we look at these elements, we're able to then translate those into 3 main doshas. These doshas are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha dosha. A dosha is just a combination of 2 different elements, and it takes on the qualities that go with those elements. So let's talk about Vata. Vata is made up of air and ether. Air and ether are very light. They're more cold. In a person, they might be spontaneous. They're going to be really creative. They're going to be inspired, but they could also be prone to things like anxiety, constipation, insomnia, a little bit of scatterbrained. So that's our Vata dosha. Pitta dosha is our fire and our water. It's a hot dosha. It tends to be a little bit spicy. This dosha has a little more lightness because of the moving of the fire, but it also has a little bit of heat going on. So in a Pitta person, you might see things like intensity. They might be super disciplined. They might be very organized and kind of controlled by their schedule or their calendar. But they might also fall into pitfalls of being a little bit critical, maybe a little bit judgmental. They also can have issues with things like heartburn or ulcers. So that's our Pitta dosha. Last dosha is Kapha dosha. Kapha dosha is made up of earth and water. Kapha dosha is a heavy, dense energy. Kapha dosha is beautiful because it's the thing that glues us all together. In a person, it's that connection, the connection between the things in the body. They also create connection in relationships. Kapha dosha might struggle for things like depression, a little bit of lethargy, maybe a little bit of apathy at times, but they can sure be a great loyal friend. All of these doshas work together in our bodies to create harmony. When we look at Ayurvedic medicine, we're trying to bring ourselves back to our natural doshic balance. When you were born, you had a set doshic balance with a certain amount of each dosha, totally unique to you, kind of like your thumbprint, just your own. But as you go through daily life and you experience stress, or you maybe stay up a little bit late, or you drink or eat something that's not very balancing to your body, you will find that your doshic balance will shift in that moment. Who you are never changes, but you might have an imbalance or an increase in a dosha. That's what we treat in Ayurveda. We try to take those increases and we bring them back to your natural constitutional level. So as we work together at the Ayurveda Life School, we take clients and help them to first identify their dosha, then figure out where are they imbalanced, and then we use all of the healing remedies available to us, which are the sense therapies. We deal with food and what we eat. We deal with what we touch through things like Ayurvedic massage. We also deal with smells through aromatherapy and the smells around us. We deal with what we see. What are we taking in through our eyes? Candlelight meditations, things like that. And we finally deal with what we hear through mantra and sound. All of those modalities heal our bodies and they heal our souls. That is the intention of Ayurveda. We don't just want to make you look healthy on the outside. We want you to be healthy to the core. We deal with the root of a problem. We deal with that and we help with the symptoms and we get everything working in alignment so that when you go out into the world, you are your best, highest self, living your purpose. The point of Ayurveda isn't to do all the routines and the rituals perfectly. They are a support so that you can go and live a spiritually enlightened and higher self life. It works so well together with yoga because when we deal with Ayurveda, we're healing the body so that we can be healthy enough to deal with the spiritual aspects of a yoga practice. So as you start to journey into Ayurveda a little bit more, a few things you can do right away to help yourself to live an Ayurvedic life. First is start to watch the patterns in nature. Start rising maybe a little bit earlier so that you're getting up when the sun gets up. Try going to bed just a little bit earlier so you're going to bed when the sun goes down. And notice how different foods make you feel. If you're feeling real hot and spicy today, don't be eating peppers. You want to eat something cooling, like maybe some cilantro or some fennel. If you're feeling really lethargic and heavy today, bring in some qualities that are lightening. Do a vigorous yoga practice. Go for a walk out in nature. Get yourself into the world. If you're feeling a little bit scattered and kind of stressed out because you got too much going on, you might do well with a little self-massage, a little abhyanga to bring yourself back to balance. So as you find ways to implement Ayurveda in your own life, you'll see that this customized medicine from ancient India is totally relevant today, can help you to live your best, highest self. Check us out at the Ayurveda Life School so that you can learn more about how you can live your best, highest self.